Almighty. Today we are going to talk about soil erosion as an area of specialization in soil and water conservation engineering. Soil erosion is defined as a wearing away of soil material from one place to the other. So it moves from here and goes to the another place. And there are three stages involved in soil erosion. The first stage is we have detachment. The second stage, you have the transportation. And finally, the third stage, you have deposition. So the agent of erosion detaches the soil, and as it detaches, transportation takes place, it carries it away and moves. And there is deposition in another place. So in erosion, you have losers and you have gainers. These people, those around the place of detachment, have lost their soil, while those around the position of detachment of the position have gained. If it is a good soil, they have gained good soil for their agricultural activities. But if it is not, it has also affected them. Then soil erosion basically are caused by various agents. You have water, which include running water, raindrop erosion, sheet erosion, real erosion, gully erosion. You have stream bank erosion. Then you have another agent, wind. Wind is also a major agent of soil detachment. And you have ice or other geological. Example of that is gravitational creep. It's an example of geological agent of soil erosion. There are two types of soil erosion. There are two types. One, you have the natural or geological. Then you have the second, the accelerated. Accelerated soil erosion or man-made erosion. In this case, it's called man-made. It's man-made because it is enhanced by the activities of man. By activities of man enhances that erosion. So basically, erosion is caused by destruction of natural protective cover. That is when the vegetation is removed. You have accelerated it by man. That's by man-made or accelerated removal of erosion, of vegetation. Then another thing under that could be indiscriminate felling of trees. Fell trees, which is still vegetation, indiscriminate felling of trees. Then you have overgrazing. You have overgrazing. And from overgrazing, you have also bush burning. So when all these removes the protective cover of the soil, when they remove the soil vegetation, the soil has been exposed. So that when the agent comes, like water, it can carry the soil away. It will detach the soil and carry it away. Or when wind comes, if it's in a arid place or places that wind speed is much, it will touch the soil and carry it away. Also, we have talked about the destruction or removal of the vegetation. There's another one, improper use of the land. That's improper land use. If you are not using the land properly, the way it's supposed to be used, it will cause soil erosion. That is one of it. The examples are keeping the land bare. If you keep the land bare, you clear the soil and leave it bare. So it will cause a problem. The agents, water can act on it, wind can act on it. Then another point under improper land use is removal of plant nutrients and organic matter by like plowing up and down the hill. If you plow up and down the hill, it will give soil erosion. So plowing up and down is also another way. Then three, farm operations. If their farm operations are improper, if you don't do it the way it's supposed to be done, it will cause soil erosion. And again, faulty irrigation method. Faulty irrigation method. That is when you apply excess water, irrigation system can cause soil erosion. Or when you are designing your irrigation, if you didn't design for drainage at the same time, it will cause soil erosion. So the major factors affecting the soil erosion are the climate, you have the soil type, you have vegetation, you have topography and cultivation practices. So erosion, when you talk of erosion, the factors, when you talk of climate, these factors, and these are the agents. We have wind. Then now the factors are one, climate. That's the climatic factors. That's why you have the rainfall. Where you have the texture, you have the structure, you have the soil permeability, or you have the porosity of the soil, and so on. There are some others under this soil type. So they control the movement of water in the soil. And they control also the ease with which water can be removed, soil can be removed, the erodibility and the erosivity of the soil. So these are the things. The third factor, as we mentioned earlier, the vegetation. Vegetation is the soil bare or other vegetation. Could be grass, could be trees. So that's then topography. Topography is also a factor. You have topography, so that's the land pattern. The inclination of the land, where the land is facing. So that is an aspect. The hilliness of the land. The hilliness of the land. The orientation of the land. How is the land? The slope of the land. The slope of the land. How is it? Is the slope high? Is the slope low? So, and this determines the speed of the water. It determines when the runoff is going. It determines the strength whereby the running water can detach the soil. If there is enough, if there is not enough strength, if the running water has enough strength, it can detach the soil easily and carries it. And if it carries it as it is going, it's also detaching also and carrying until it reaches where the velocity is very low. I mean, where the velocity is very low, drops it. For instance, the detachment of this, or let's see, this, the strength, the Q, the flow, the discharge, the running water, MC square. This is the velocity. This represents the velocity. So if it is high, the detachment will be high. And the slope determines the velocity. If the slope is gentle, the velocity will be gentle, will be low. But if the slope is high, the runoff will be high. The strength it is moving with. And that determines the quantity of the soil. They talk about soil erosion. Soil erosion as an aspect or area of specialization in soil and water conservation engineering. So in the next class, we'll talk another area of specialization in soil and water engineering.